What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Pudgy Boys Sports Talk podcast. I'm coming at you today with my review, my reaction, my recap of the 2023 WWE Survivor Series War Games pay-per-view. Right off the bat, electric crowd from start to finish. They were in it, chanting for one person's name in particular. I'll get to it at the end. This is a spoiler review if you haven't seen the memes yet or the updates on Twitter or X or social media, but somebody came back tonight that a lot of people were anticipating was never going to be in the WWE ever again. Never say never will be the title of this video. And moving forward, there's going to be some very interesting storylines coming up with WWE, and it's going to be extremely exciting. And this is just the beginning. And just kudos to Triple H and that staff for putting on such a great show tonight. Let's just get right into it without wasting time. So we started off tonight's match, the first match, with the Women's War Games match. Right off the bat, Women's War Games match, outstanding. Every woman in that match put on a great show. The crowd was into it from the beginning. Crowd was into it throughout the match. There was not one dull spot during the match. I love that it was Becky Lynch and Bayley to start the match. I think Bayley is moving forward. I don't know what her story is going to be, but she put on a great show tonight along with everybody else. And Io Sky with a huge, huge spot off the top of the cage. Now, like most people in the crowd, I wasn't there, obviously. Most people in the crowd, when she was getting the garbage can chained up to her at the top of the cage, it was because there was some kind of moaning and groaning in the crowd. Like, what is she going to do with this? Yeah, nobody knows what she's doing with it. So when she finally gets up there, she gets on her feet and holds the trash can above her. It's like, okay, here we go. She's going to jump off the cage. She's going to crack all these girls with the trash can. No, she puts the trash can over her head and jumps off the cage 15 feet in the air and lands on all four members of the other team, knocking them all out. It was a great spot. Shotzi really looked good. I'm a big fan of Shotzi. Charlotte and Becky had a really good moment during the match where they embraced towards sort of the end of the match. So a lot of that bad blood that was going into the match and the trusting and to see if they can get along for this, they wound up doing it. And kudos to them. And Damage Control. Where does Damage Control go from here after this loss? In my predictions, I had Damage Control winning the match and then turning on Bayley at the end of the match. But it didn't turn out that way. Bayley took the spear from Charlotte to end the match, and then she took the table spot from Becky. And it looks kind of like Bayley. They're setting up Bayley maybe a possible face turn. I'm not sure how I feel about Bayley being a face anymore. I think she's set out to be a heel. I think she took off being a heel. The face run didn't last too long. And when she got called up to the main roster. So this is kind of, let's see, without using the same pun, but Damage Control will be going through a little bit of damage control. So, again, great start to the night. Really electric. And I can't say enough about the crowd in Chicago. It was excellent. So on to the next match. It was Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz. Following this story, I'm not the biggest Miz guy when he's a face. I think the crowd did a really good job of getting behind him tonight because of the hatred for Gunther and the fact that this guy's probably the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time now. I don't really think there's a debate anymore. He's over 530 days as champion, broke the record a few months ago. Miz had a lot of good spots in this match. It kind of made you feel a little bit that he could have pulled it off at some point, but I predicted Gunther to win this match. I predicted him to dominate this match, but the Miz was getting a lot of spots in, which was really good. The only thing about this match is it just ended abruptly. They made a Chris Jericho. Michael Cole made a Chris Jericho reference during the match, which was outstanding. A lot of people are flipping out about that. I don't know what that means, but I go down, I get a drink like this. Next thing I know, I hear the bell that Miz tapped out from the Boston Crab or the Walls of Jericho, and I'm saying, oh, geez, it's over. That's it. So it was a good match. I kind of, a little bit of a dull ending, but still, crowd was into it. Crowd was actually getting behind the Miz a lot. So I don't see Miz getting another championship opportunity in the near future. I could kind of see him moving into that Dolph Ziggler role moving forward, where he kind of just puts guys over. He should go back to heel. I think he's best suited for that. And that's it for that. Going into the R-Truth appearance that we were all excited to see. Nobody knew Ron Killings was going to be there tonight. So he was involved in a little bit of a backstage segment. Just going over the whole Ruffles sponsorship, so that kind of thing. It was a funny segment, but it was really nice to see R-Truth back in the WWE. It's been a while for him, and right off the bat is when we heard the first chants of CM Punk. Right then and there were the first chants. You could hear it as the segment's going on. CM Punk, so you could hear all the chants going on in the crowd. So after that, we had the Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar match. Now, that match for me was not anything special. I really love what they're doing with Santos Escobar. He's probably the next Alberto Del Rio kind of type, where he's just going to become a great heel. They did a great job. The right move was made tonight. Even if it was Carlito tonight, I think they were going to have Escobar win this match. I think they're going to take it nice and slow with Escobar, build him up. He's already getting monster chants. He's getting heel chants from the crowd really early into his heel run. So I like where that is. Dragon Lee, I know there was a lot of hype about him coming into this match. I think they ended the match abruptly because he got hurt. But it was nothing exciting. This was probably my least favorite match on the card itself. But the right man won, Escobar won, which I predicted as well. Pretty dominant fashion. So that was it with that. Next segment, we had the Judgment Day segment. More CM Punk chants throughout you could hear it throughout the arena. This crowd was on fire. So it was more CM Punk chants. And then we got the first "Where's Randy Orton?" question amongst the guys that were involved in the main event, this time being from the Judgment Day. I heard Randy Orton's not here. He's not coming. So you kind of get those teases throughout the night of where's Randy Orton. So then we go into probably one of my favorite parts of the night was seeing the newest face of the Slim Jim commercials, LA Knight, wearing the Slim Jim colored t-shirt that he has out. And it was a really cool commercial. It had a mixture of Macho Man and LA Knight in the same commercial. Macho Man being the original Slim Jim guy for those commercials was really cool. So that was the only involvement LA Knight had in the show, which was the Slim Jim commercial. But he'll be involved in future shows. I'm sure he'll be the guy because I like him a lot. Then we move into, which was probably my ranked third on my list here of my favorite matches, strictly because I love Rhea Ripley. It was the women's world heavyweight championship match. It was Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark. The crowd was just not into Zoe Stark. The crowd's not been into Zoe Stark for as far back as I can remember. They're not into her. This was a heel crowd tonight in Chicago. They were right behind Rhea Ripley right from the start. Soon as Zoe Stark came out, it was just crickets. It was probably one of the lowest I've heard the crowds throughout the entire night was when Zoe was coming out. It's nothing to her. She's a good performer. I just don't think she's ready for that main event title shot yet. You're probably not going to see her at the top of the women's division for a while now because there's a lot of good names. And this was a good filler spot for the Survivor Series to make Rhea look stronger. She pretty much dominated 95% of this match, which was good. You want to see Rhea dominate like that against somebody like Zoe Stark, but it was a good filler, and it makes Rhea look stronger. Not like she needs to look much stronger, but she did look really strong there. Then here we go. Excuse me. We go into the main event, the men's War Games match. Lots of storylines built into this match. Lots of storylines. Is CM Punk coming back? Is Randy Orton going to show up to the match? If Randy Orton shows up, is he going to turn heel? So before I get into the match, real quick, my prediction was Punk was going to come out. instead of Punk was going to come out, Randy Orton was going to come out, and Randy Orton was going to turn heel, and then Punk was just going to start the feud with somebody, maybe Cody. I don't know, any one of those guys. But so we get into the match. The matchups were great. We had Rollins against Finn Balor at first, and then as time went on, we had the eventual plan from Damian Priest, which was really it was a decent plan. He was going to wait till Seth Rollins was hurt towards the end of the match. Rhea Ripley came out, and they had the Money in the Bank briefcase ready to go. Bang, here comes Randy Orton's music. Randy Orton comes in, and he helps Team Cody win the match and the men's War Games match. The funny spot right off the bat that I could think of was Dominic. He was doing the tribute to Eddie Guerrero, and then he got surrounded by all the guys on the other team, and they were funny on commentary. Graves was kind of telling him this probably reminds him of when he was in jail and all that funny stuff that Graves is really good behind the mic. It seemed like to me, first of all, Randy Orton the guy looks outstanding. He looks like he's in the best shape of his life. He's been out for 18 months. It's not easy to just come back and get into that rhythm of being in the ring again. He didn't have many spots, but the spots that he did have were pretty good. It was a nice interaction with him and Jay Uso, because the Uso and the Bloodline were the ones that put him out, storyline-wise. They put him out for those 18 months, so it was going to be interesting to see how they interacted with one another, and they did have some cool interactions with each other. Great spot off the top of the cage. Randy Orton hits the RKO. Then each guy hits their finisher. Bang, 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 bang. Team Cody, again, they win the War Games match. Night over, right? So everybody's happy. The crowd was kind of happy. They popped hard for Randy Orton. Randy Orton got a huge ovation, much deservingly so. This guy's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, 14-time champion, so he deserves all the praise from the crowd that he could get. We see the we see the credits start to roll at the bottom right hand of the screen, and then the camera's backing up. All the guys are celebrating. I'm getting ready to get up and make my way out and finish my start my review. And CM Punk, he's back. CM Punk is back in the WWE. 9 years of never say never. They always tell you it in wrestling, especially in the WWE. The WWE always finds a way to get what they want. And oh my God, the ovation he got from the hometown crowd in Chicago was deafening. Deafening, this crowd was. And I think they handled it absolutely perfectly. They didn't need to give him a microphone. He didn't need a microphone tonight. He didn't need to come down and start beating people up. He didn't need to come down and start a rivalry with one person in particular. He comes out, shows his face, celebrates with the crowd a little bit. We cut to black. That's all we need to see. I think they handled that perfectly. Randy Orton got his ovation fairly to him. He deserved it. And then Punk comes in and gets his ovation. On Twitter, I saw, or X, I don't know what it's called. I saw that Seth Rollins, he looked really upset as the cameras went off. He was trying to kind of get to the back of the backstage. He was being held back by a lot of people, including the ring announcers. And I don't know, is it a work? I know Seth Rollins doesn't get along with CM Punk very well in real life, but could it be a work? Could Punk be going straight into the world title picture? We don't know yet. We just don't know what they're going to be doing with him. But yeah, all in all, I would give, if I have to give this a 5-star rating, I would go 4.5 out of 5. This show, I was not bored at all during the entire show. Even during the Escobar match with Dragon Lee, I was not bored. I mean, the crowd kept you into it. The crowd was engaged throughout the entire night. There was not one time that the crowd just, started booing or doing all this other stuff. They were just into it. And, as we are on the road to the Royal Rumble on January 27th, we're going to see where everybody stands from there. And it's getting crowded again. So when CM Punk gets back, things get crowded. But All in all, great pay-per-view by the WWE. You don't hear that a lot, but this was a really, really good show. Kudos to Triple H for getting the Punk deal done. I'm gonna let's see where they go from here. But other than that, cheers to another year. Cheers to another Survivor Series. Thank you guys. We got to 60 subscribers. It's a big milestone for us, apparently. Last I checked, we were up to 62. We'd like to see that keep on rising and keep on going. If you guys could share, like, and subscribe these videos, it would be much appreciated. So we will come back out with another review, and we will be back into the sports throughout the week. And other than that, cheers. Pudgy Boys out.